Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Force Feed, the show where I keep you up to date on all recent gaming news and announcements. Today is Tuesday, November 29th, 2011, and let's just jump into today's gaming news. Based on the location of portions of the game, Battlefield 3 has been banned in Iran. This is coming as a result of a petition filed by an Iranian youth group. Quoting from that petition, we understand that the story of video games is hypothetical, but we believe the game is purposely released at a time when the US is pushing the international community into fearing Iran. It's time to put on your tinfoil hats, ladies and gentlemen. That seems a little bit absurd. I'm certainly not going to question someone's beliefs, but come on. I'm not in the position to believe that the gaming industry is working in cahoots with the US government to try to push these video games as a type of propaganda, but is it possible? I don't know. That's something I'd like you guys to let me know below. But the end result is that, yes, Battlefield 3 has been banned in Iran as a result of part of the locations of the game. Do you think this is part of a conspiracy between the gaming industry and the US government? Let me know below. And the battle between EA and Activision Blizzard continues. WoW has officially launched patch 4.3 today, which is going to be the last major content patch for the Cataclysm expansion. The reason this is important is because we are right around the corner from the official launch of the Star Wars The Old Republic MMO. That will be coming out later in December. Clearly, WoW and Star Wars The Old Republic are in competition for a subscriber base, and this is just a pretty interesting competition between the two. And to add to that fire, recently at a Reuters Media Summit, Activision Blizzard Bobby Kotick was questioning Star Wars' potential profitability for EA, essentially stating that LucasArts will be the principal beneficiary of any success that Star Wars The Old Republic has. So this will bring up the heated debate of whether or not the upcoming MMO Star Wars The Old Republic will be the actual game to dethrone WoW as king of MMOs. I don't know if this is actually going to happen. You know, I've spent a bit of time with Star Wars The Old Republic, and it's not that it is a bad game, but I really don't know when World of Warcraft is going to be dethroned, and I'm not quite sure that we're there yet. This certainly has the potential. The upcoming Guild Wars 2 certainly has the potential as well in terms of taking a mass amount of the subscriber base. We'll have to see when and if this does happen, and not so much if, but when. Many are led to believe that the only MMO that's going to trump Blizzard's World of Warcraft is going to be Blizzard's next MMO. What do you guys think? Do you think that the upcoming Star Wars The Old Republic is finally going to be the game to do it? Do you think that EA will finally be on the winning side of this battle between EA and Activision Blizzard? Game Informer released a fairly comical article today talking about online passes and the future, basically hypothesizing these scenarios of absolutely ridiculous things in upcoming games that online passes could unlock. A lot of these online passes being added to games to help battle the used game market. This is something that we've talked on to in the past. A specific recent example, taking a look at Batman Arkham City, you were unable to play a specific character in the game. There's an entire playable character that would not be unlocked unless you had the online pass. Now, the online pass only comes with a new copy of the game, so if you buy a used copy, you would not have that online pass, and as such, you'd be missing out on a fair amount of content in the game. Now, again, while the article itself on Game Informer is comical, there are issues here in that online passes are taking out a large chunk, a large portion of these games, and this is likely to be something that we continue to see happening in the future. Is something to be concerned about, I'd have to say. Unless you buy new games, I buy new games. I don't really care. I don't really buy used games ever, but that's because I want to support the game companies. You know, people have their varying beliefs as to whether or not these companies need support, but that is certainly up to you, and that is why we're here to discuss these matters. So what do you guys think about the online pass situation and the likelihood of it continuing from this point forward? And finally, we're going to be moving into our question for the day. What I really want to know today from you guys is whether or not you think the upcoming Star Wars MMO will dethrone WoW as king of MMOs. If not Star Wars, then what other upcoming MMO will be the one to do it? We've got Guild Wars 2 coming up sometime next year, and then of course there is going to be the next Blizzard MMO coming out, I don't know, 10 years from now, whenever it does eventually come out. But let me know what you guys think. Star Wars vs. World of Warcraft, go. Alright guys, that is going to do it for this episode of the Force Feed. Stay tuned tomorrow for more gaming news and updates. Once again, this has been Force, and you've just been Force Fed.